And hello, and welcome back to the DST interview. How y'all doing? I'm doing great. Before we invite our guest, his name is Andrew Daly, and he calls himself Daly. Um, he's running for U.S. House of Representatives for the Missouri #3 district. Before I put him on live, I want to make an announcement to the audience. Our rules. I'm sure you folks know. Those who come up, keep it on the question only, not to have a chat, just a question only. Give appropriate formal question. Okay, you can put that up, and to ask at daily. And number two, also for the guest, you can also type it in the chat. Again, any cussing or complicated stuff will be taken out. All right. I hope it's clear to you in the audience. Great. First of all, I will show you a video of what Mr. Daly looks like, and let this happen, and then we'll go with the show. Let me show you the video. Hello, my name is Andrew Daly. I've been put on the ballot for the United States House of Representatives, Missouri 3rd District. My goal is not to win, but to use this opportunity to spotlight some ongoing issues in this country that are hurting us. I'm especially frustrated at how hard we work for so little. Federal minimum wage is $7.25 since 2009. Go ahead, Johnny. Let me show you. Now,
it is still $7.25, 13 years later. So sure, there's some companies have bragged about paying their workers about $15 an hour. That is $30,000 per year, with about $24,000 take home after taxes. That'd be $2,000 per month. A lot of places want your income to be triple than your rent. Tell me now, can you find an apartment or a home anywhere under $665 per month? Don't get me started on it, on those corporations. Most of us have paid more in income taxes than they do. And they post billions of profit. So billions and billions, quarter after quarter. And they say they are forced to raise prices due to inflation. Honestly, that means they're saying we are taking advantage of inflation to raise our profits. That's simply greed, I think. Those corporations, it's their fault for spending too much on avocado toast, and that is why we are poor. Look, over half of us do not have at least $1,000 in savings. Over half of us are one paycheck away from being homeless. Now we have to budget an extra $5,200 this year to cover rising prices. At the same time, the corporations post their best year since 1950. That frustrates me. It should be us that run this country, not those corporations. I better stop now before I get too much into this. It is time we bring back common sense into this world. Thanks for listening.
So, okay. Before we bring on Mr. Daly, I would like to make an announcement. I keep forgetting my own name. I'm sorry. My name is John, Jon. And also, I have two interpreters here tonight. They're not shown on the screen. They both can be equal with the hearing people to listen in to this broadcast. I want to make sure that during, I'm going to ask Karen, do you mind speaking? Yes. I hear you. I feel the vibration. Now, John D.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Yes, perfect. Now we've tested. Great. Now we're ready, and let's welcome Daly from running for U.S. House of Representatives of Missouri District 3. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Busy today, working and all that stuff. So I came here to have a chat with all of you tonight.
Okay. Well, we will have 5 questions. Do you mind explain to yourself who you are? Starting with me, I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm wearing glasses. Dirty blonde hair, curly, short hair, with a long sleeve, and with ASL logo with ASL copy chat. And then behind me is some kind of drawings in this office. Okay, and please describe yours.
My name is Andrew Daly, and people call me Daly for short. And I'm white. I have, a beard and a thin goatee. I have short hair and brown hair parted to the right. So
I'm sweating from outside.
there are like 3 flower boxes behind me right now. And so that's where I am.
Okay, you ready for the first question? Yes.
Sure, yes.
All right. Tell me about your background, where you grew up, deaf school or mainstream, your work. Go ahead.
Okay, so right now I'm in Missouri, and in the middle of the country. Ypsilanti. I was born in Ypsilanti.
Yes.
It's freezing.
Just keep going.
Ypsilanti. It's a small town next to Ann Arbor, and that's where University of Michigan is. I was born and raised in Michigan, and then when I was 9, I moved to North Carolina, a small town in North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. And my home, I call my home Charlotte, North Carolina. Most of my family have settled there, and since I was 9 years old, so I've worked at nights, and I'm working in. Okay, I didn't get that.
And that, I was single. I was very depressed. I was not happy because at that time when I was growing up, I was mainstream with interpreters in my classrooms looking. And I was like, okay, that was my school life right there, with interpreters. It was, I was a very good student because I did get into trouble. I didn't get into trouble or anything because I was always paying attention to my interpreters. I got A's all throughout school. I was a good student. Just one night changed my life from there on. So Mom did chat with me that night and told me, okay, we'll go and visit deaf schools and see if you like these. And so sometime after that, we went through and we went to a model secondary school for the deaf at Gallagher University in DC. And so I went and visited that school, and I was already, I loved it. That was the first and last deaf school I ever went to. And then I went into MSSD. I was there for 4 years. I spent 2 years in the deaf school. Those 2 years, wow. It was an interesting experience. I was overwhelmed with all the deaf culture and the environment, the whole thing. So that was a lot of fun at the time for me. I enjoyed myself when I was there. Also, when I got, bad grade, my first bad grade, because I was, distracted with all the classroom, so many people signing, and I couldn't stop signing. They say, look, pay attention to me. And I was just looking around. I didn't know how bad that was for me. So I spent 2 years at the deaf school at MSSD. I loved my experience there. And then I transferred to RIT, Rochester School for Technology, and in Rochester, New York. Go ahead. And so then I decided to leave, and I moved back home. And I worked around different odd jobs before I went forward. I went back. My first job was I was working in a movie theater as an usher, cleaning up popcorn, tearing tickets, telling people the right movie theater number to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, helping with the drinks and sodas. That was my first job. I think that I got that when I was 15. You ready? 15. John Duke. So I was working.
And it's also freezing.
And so it taught me a lot. And that after the movie was finished, I would say about 90% of the time, people, they did a big tub of popcorn. They would just throw it and put it on the ground, and they put candy and chocolates and all that stuff. I was just wondering, wow, the trash is right there, and you can take it right out the theater. I was so astounded by that. I could tell my first exposure to the real world at that time. And then that was my first summer. I think it was I only worked there for a summer. Then I went to MSSD, so I couldn't have that job obviously anymore. And then there was no work during MSSD time. But at RIT, I worked as a mover. That was my odd job during my college days. I was a helper and a mover. Back-breaking work. Then when I came back to my hometown in Charlotte at the time, Charlotte, North Carolina, I was still working. And so I would say as a mover would be my number one income maker for me so far, because I worked I moved as a mover. I have a lot of respect who have the patience working for that type of industry. And then as I go back to my story, I graduated from RIT, went and I applied for a job at the Little Italy restaurant, and I worked there, and I was starting off as a dishwasher, hot water and plates and whatnot. It was hot and wet all the time. I was sweaty, and I, worked my pay at that time was $7.25. No, wait. They gave me 50 cents an hour, I believe, because I have, it's been a long time ago, and so I have to look at the numbers. But that you have to see, that was ready. That was then I became a line cook, and then I did the part of the bar making pizzas and making my own dough and slicing whatever it needs to be done. I worked there for a summer. My mother says, I didn't enjoy my time there, and so I was thinking about moving to Austin, Texas. Mom said, "Okay, when?" I said, "After this year." And so I was working for a Little Italy restaurant through that time until like about November or December. And in the middle of that time, my mother goes, "Hey, I thought you were planning to move to Austin. What's going on?" I said, "Oh yeah, Mom, I'm still working on it." Yeah. I had made no plans. I didn't even think about it, but I didn't follow through with my word. So I went ahead and found a last minute roommate in Austin and just put everything in my car and just U-hauled it straight to Austin to start fresh. And I came there, and I was put into the wrong part of Austin because all the deaf people in the community were in South Austin, and I was in North Austin. I went, oh. And so, I couldn't hang out with my friends. I drove down there all the way down and go back and forth. About 30 to 45 minutes on a good day. Right now, it's over an hour's drive to go to South Austin. I haven't been back in Austin for quite a while, so I don't know how bad it is now. But my friends, they said, "Oof, awful, don't do it." And so I thought I could, I could do my moving job was hard enough. But when I moved, my first job in Austin was landscaping. It was being a landscaper. I had to use long sleeves, wear jeans and boots, and mow all day long in the Austin heat. It was off the chain. It gained my respect for people who work hard in that kind of weather. Whew. Oh, no. It was a tough experience. And so, work and everything. And then finally, I moved up to a new job working for CSD, Communication Services for the Deaf, as an ASL client representative. I help bring deaf people with clients and calls with video phones and issues of that nature to solve. And so then, when the COVID hit, 2 years had transpired, and still staying in the same house. I didn't do much. It was a lot of, it was an unstable time, not sure if I wanted to go out now and mentally to get a lot of information out. Is it safe or not? It was 2 years of, in quotations, being a hermit, staying inside and looking about. At that time, with all my work throughout, then I got permission to work in Missouri School for the Deaf as an activities director and an athletic director, and they call it an AD at Missouri School for the Deaf. And that's pretty much my life, the history of my life in this short. That story. I hope that's enough for you. I want to go back a little bit. I read your history. You did go to the University of Texas?
Yes, I did. I finished my education there. by degree in applied mathematics, and I finished my BA, my Bachelor of Arts in Math, also with minor in computer, and then psychology.
Okay, let's go ahead and we'll move on to the second question. Let's see. Okay. What made you want to run for office?
Okay. I wanted to, I thought about this a lot, this question especially. What can I do, and why do I want to do this? So there's a whole list of things that, that I can do. It's basically out of frustration. We know that people are very, very,
Picky on their issues.
very, very picky about their issues. They're talking about a lot about specific issues that they don't want to 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 address. So the issues that are important to people that need to be addressed, like, I'm tired of the politics, the politicking, especially of politicians making promises, making saying things, or creating excuses, and making things up, but they're not really doing anything. So as a politician, I can, as long as I can remember, it's always promises that I remember hearing from all these politicians. So I want to be able to see what we can do, what we can really contribute, because people are
it's hard to be integrated, to be satisfied, because the
satisfied, and
changes.
for a few years, perhaps, maybe an opportunity to start doing something a step ahead, and directing towards the future of the people. Also,
It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about, you have to think about the ethics. It was the Missouri against us. The same common, everyday, daily people that we work. These small groups of people have a lot of power over us. You know what I'm saying? And it's a scary thought.
So there really is a lot I can say about the question that you just asked me.
Okay, I have another question for you, Andrew. Can you explain your top platform issue and why it's very important for the deaf community? The two top platform issues.
The two top platform issues. Okay. Obviously, my number one is
Inflation.
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
The deaf community it impacts everybody in the community. So to go up, housing costs are up, everything is up, healthcare costs are up, food costs are up. So everything has risen. The prices, the costs are risen. So, but the what we earn from work has stayed the same. So why is that? Why is that not going up?
I mean, is that very important?
I will definitely try to
work on some disability issues.
His
okay, great.
For me.
All right, the third question before we bring up somebody, or we can find someone in the audience. The hot topic in Congress congressional area in your area to focus on after you win the election, when you win the election?
So before inflation, so I'm trying to see if I can relate this to the issue of inflation. Many people are saying that, you know, the big profits or the big, oh God, if it's you take over because I cannot see his screen. It's freezing all the
Okay.
time.
There's all children are entitled to that. Definitely. But I did a lot of research that said 7 people out of 10 support abortion rights, but the state level in the legislature, they haven't passed. They passed one of the most restrictive access to abortion rights here in Missouri. Missouri, the whole state, is the only one that has health care provider at the with the process. There's only one healthcare provider for abortion throughout the entire state. It's very restrictive. I don't believe in it. When we started, having all these limitations, then you're trying to control specifically a group of people. That's not going to always go well. Okay, within the state, what about in your district, in District Missouri 3? What is their, major hearing or top issue, 1 or 2? Can you tell me?
In my district, a lot of farmers. There are a lot of farmlands, and so inflation has also impacted on their farm, the industry, the farm industry, the feed, everything that they need to use for the farms.
Yeah, for the land and the money. Yeah, yeah.
So so they need support. They need money in order to be able to continue with the to catch up with the rising prices and the rising costs. So I'm not happy about that. And one of the things that that people are frustrated with right now is that it's like always there's this blame. The fault is it's always someone else's fault.
It's the most unfortunate thing. It's the most unfortunate thing that happened with the prices going up. Okay, the last question I'm going to share with you. Okay, this one, because you are starting to you run for office. It said, how would you like us to offer our support to your campaign, coming from the deaf community around? Okay.
What I said earlier about everything running depending on the support or the finances to support me big time, but to allow if you are able to like donate to support this campaign. We have letters to mail to representatives and to campaign to the people to write my name on the ballot and to make to promote this cause in my district in Missouri. So I want to be able to share my video to the people, to your friends, to the family, to your contacts, to make them aware of this opportunity that's happening right now.
All right. Okay. We have in our audience. His name is Howard Eagle. He will ask his name. All right. Hello.
Did a good job on the screen, honey. Your laptop usually don't know
Yeah. That's it. Okay, go ahead and start talking. There we go. The emotional to get better of me and to for them to hit on when they want to get a response out of you, and they will use that against you in the political realm. It's just let it go, and then you continue to do the work what you want to do, and just keep it going. If it gets that bad, you can maybe have a case of slandering, but that's only for serious, accusations. They just want to get a response out of you, and it's not, and you shouldn't give them that power at all. Thank you. Okay. Yes, and thank you. If you have another question, you can come back again. Okay, thank you.
Karen, my system is like crashing.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I see another person. Their name is Dan. You need to turn on your camera so we can see you. Perfect. I got the camera. Okay, it's clear. Okay, hi. Yes, hello. Beautiful. And you are? I have a question. Your political experience, you did your background and everything, but what is your political experience within that made you enthusiastic to be involved with the politics in the Missouri District 3? John D.
My political experiences, do it. I'm
reading a lot of newspapers. I ran for political office before at MSSD when I was in high school. Further, I at the Texas Texas Association for the Deaf, I was working on their committees. I was a tech person for them, and I saw a lot of political things going on. I understood how a lot of people wanted to see a person with a lot of political experience, but that's not the case with a few of these who are first-time, candidates. And I'm hoping that my signing and my connection with people, will trust me enough to let me go to the federal level at the United States House of Representatives. May I ask another question? Sure. Okay. Reading the Constitution, let me pull this up here. You see, I have this, reading the Constitution. I'm curious, the U.S. Constitution itself, you mean? Have you read that? I have to reread it, of course. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hold on. I only know that people who know the U.S. Constitution fully, I'm not 100%, expert on everything in the Constitution. I'm willing to admit that, But if there's those specific issues, I will be glad to research it, because my issues in the room, you know, if you're a part of this, you're in the wrong room, because I always want to crowd myself with people who have a lot of experience in different areas of that. I want to be a better teammate for that and go forward from there. I mean, if running for Congress, that's you need to know the Constitution, that you've already read it. Therefore, I don't know. Well, I've read it, but yep, no problem. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, Diane. Okay. I have the same question. There's the same question here. There's another question coming up from Catherine. She has two questions related to the first one. Here it is. I have a question from Mr. Daly. How do you plan to go out and meet with your voters and convince them to elect you? Okay, thank you, thank you. I already got invitations to a few events in person. So I will be planning to go to those events and then meet, constituents and voters. Also, I will be involved with some of the panel discussions with the Democratic Club in my county and different counties throughout my district. And I will be involved with that here pretty soon. Okay, all right. Now the second question here that I'm going to give you. Okay, Catherine, in addition to my first question, what metrics are you using to ensure that you're running a strong campaign and that you will be elected? That's a very good question. I'm running for this campaign is it's a little bit naive. I'm doing everything on my own. So I'm following what the people are responding to, what they like, when they contact, like on Facebook, or share a lot or not at all. How many people make comments? It's the same thing for other social media platforms, Instagram, WhatsApp, that kind of thing. And so I can take a look at, and I also really enjoy the deaf community's support of me here with a lot of views, comments, and responses, because that will interest other people into my area to give my page a little bit more special attention. They'll say, oh, my video tape has a lot of responses and a lot of comments, and and so that people will see it, if at all possible, for people to recognize my page for my candidacy, and so that's one way I'm trying to connect with the deaf community and the community at large. I see that it's not a question. I think someone wanted to make a statement. Hold tight. Now, okay, we need to increase it. It's now $7.25, and the gas is how much? Okay, it's how much? $5 a gallon. Then I pay my home rent and my mortgage, home insurance, gas, food, car insurance, medical cost. It's absurd. It's a time to increase the federal minimum wage to $25. Well, I mean, yeah, you expressed yourself the best way, you know, to capture that. I see that you're frustrated within your comment there. So that's what, you know, that says a lot. Okay. Okay. Europe today is the average. I mean, it's a lot. We Americans are still at a very low rate, but we're accustomed to having a low gas price. I want to go back to your comment about gas prices. Like I said before, you know, everything today, you know, it's, I think, president and these people and that are running that. People like the same thing you know, everything wants to stay stable. And they don't want to wake up in the morning. They want to have their coffee, get ready to go to work, earn their pay, come back home and enjoy their dinner with their partner or your spouse, and then have a good night, sleep. They like to have the same. That keeps them comfortable. But with that same, you throw that out the window when the gas increases and then the electricity bill increases. Then that's why a lot of people are angry, because everything's going up at the same time, and that, you know, you get mad right now. It's not, you don't think it's perfect or rational. You have to go, okay, hey, how do we keep that? How can we, you know, work with that? Okay, let's see. We'll have another question here. All right. No. Wait. Here we go. Okay, this is my last question from Mr. Daly. Do you have people on your team that's supporting you or backing you, giving you advice for your campaign? No, I'm alone in this. Okay, thank you. I'm doing everything on my own. Everything is done on my own. That's correct. All right, thank you. All right. Okay. And now my question here, John here. Do you have about you've got a couple months to the primary. So will you be making contact to different voters in your area? You'll need the deaf community and also the hearing audience to think about. So will you have people how would you do that with donations? Yes. I'll be glad to expand my team. As of right now, I think I'm running on my own. Demonstrates who I am. You know, I do everything on my own because what you see is 100% me. You know, the video that was shown, that was me signing. My goal is right now is to win, and we're working on the issues, the core issues that is hurting us right now. And I think I think we can do well. You know, with the gas prices going up, you know, I showed that recently on my video earlier in the program. You know, it gets a lot of conversations going. I'm, I'm, but I have another person that just showed up here on our conversation. Hello. Hi, my name is Michael Gallagher. I have, excuse me, hold on. Michael Gallagher. And thank you. Okay, thank you, John. Perfect. All right, right now, what's your question? I'm impressed. I looked at your background and watched what you were saying earlier about the politics and what have you. I understand. Thank you. Thank you. For the U.S. Congress, it just seems to be happening with Texas, and Congress is not really focused on, you know, on the uh, you have to do it back to the states for $40 billion. Congress is mostly passing. The Senate has passed it. The president signed it off. And so how would your department, I mean, or how do you feel your district would feel that, you know, everything that are you feeling hurt, or you're neutral, or what for that, for the bills that were signed? In my general feeling with the when they for the to go and improve our infrastructure to help with our economy, inequality. You know, 400 billion is a lot of money. I don't think people realize how much money that is, because, you know, it's a lot. For us to make it come to fruition here and print it and bring it to us here in Missouri, the foreign countries, the foreign policy, sorry, that's so sticky. I understand we have to support the Ukrainians, and because they're our friends, but still 400 billion. Can we get that going? And where is that money going to do for us? I don't quite understand. Michael, okay, hands up a little bit higher so we can see your hands. There we go. Thank you. You know, do the people know? People are upset. They will vote for a different candidate. You know, for example, you know, like the representative supporting for the $50 billion foreign aid package. I mean, but that's the same. I mean, the same with the other candidates. Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you, Michael Gallagher. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Walmart, it makes $15 an hour, but at the food counter still has showing shortages. For example, I tried to find cookies, and they don't have them in stock. What's going on with that? So they don't have enough, you know, enough in stock. Of course, I don't know what's going on with that one, but no, I have no idea. All right. Also, you know, supply and demand is showing there. Yes, definitely. You can bring up that point. I want to go to and circle back to the gas demand. You know, oil, and right now is going up in pricing. You know, the price of gas And they said, oh, they don't want us to have a supply issue problem right now. We don't, of oil. The U.S. makes enough oil to maintain our needs, for having a good time or driving about. Yeah. So the economy is going down, it seems. Oil prices go down, and then the oil, yeah. Now it is what that has to be, yeah. And oil companies don't care. They're making like what is it? Over 50 billion. Where should we? I mean, where do they pay the tax on that? Recently, I did a video about gas going up. The big three make $6 billion a quarter. 6 billion. 4 quarters, it's 24 billion in a year. So think about that. When I make $1 billion, woohoo! And that money is extraordinary. I want to give us a statement, but anyway, okay. All right. Okay, what are your top 3 dream policies that you would create if you were elected? If at my time at the House of Representatives, the first one would be access and abilities, inclusion, and make America happy and great and wonderful to live in. Those are the 3 things. Keep in mind the access for all and inclusion for all. It can be successful for everyone. But the third one, to make America happy and great, it'll take a little bit longer because there's no simple solution to make them happy. Okay, we have a few minutes left. My question, John here, if you would go into to get supporters or sponsors, will you try to recruit sponsors? He goes, oh, definitely. Because as a deaf individual, and the ADA laws will help me out a little bit, are outdated. Sorry for the interpreter clarification. So yes, I would do that. I'm going to see if there's any more. Okay. My backstage. Okay, the link for your donation, the links to your donations, we're going to have that showing here on the screen. I'm going to try to get the link posted here for the audience. Here you go, folks. Perfect. Before we end tonight, you have my donation link showing there. And press it, 5, 10, or 25, 50, whatever you can afford, or you can put in your own amount that you decide that you can. Those monies will be going to my campaign account. Any amounts, from $1 to $5, it doesn't matter. Any amount will be helpful. I feel like this is everything for tonight. We gathered this all up. Do you want to say anything else there, Mr. Daly? I think we wrap this up because when I get started, I will not stop. So I'll plan to just cut this short and close this for tonight. All right. Thank you so very much. And we hope, you know, that the audience and the deaf community abroad, and we wish you the best of luck. Yeah, thank you so very much. And thank you for watching us at DST Views. I am John. I mean, he has an ADHD problem.
So,
Mhm.
give me a little